Space, the final frontier. My name is Captain Foley, and these are my adventures. Captain's Log Stardate 201512.03. Welcome back, everybody. It is December, so I can now officially not feel bad about having up my Christmas tree. I've added a few more ornaments, but I'm going to go over those probably in the next video because I have another one on the way that I'm kind of waiting for to add to it. So anyway, got quite a few comments from the last video, so we're going to get right into it and get those addressed. All right. Awesome Christmas tree and presents too. This is from Keith Burr, my friend. I love the Star Trek Rathacon Bridge ornament and the transporter. Wicked cool. I need to start collecting some of them myself. I only have the refit Enterprise D from All Good Things and the Firefly. He got the Firefly from me from the really crappy nerd blog. Well, it wasn't a really crappy nerd blog. It was a good nerd blog. Just I got two of them because they screwed up, and don't get me started on that. Okay, so next is Fox Piano. Is that you with Princess Leia and R2-D2 in the background? She's brave to wear that outfit. Indeed, right here. That was at Fan Expo in Toronto a few years ago. I think it's an amazing outfit, and the fact that Disney is no longer going to make toys based on it because of some whiny little brats and their father is annoying to me, but whatever. I mean, I got a picture with Slave Leia and with R2-D2, so, and of course R2-D2 is my favorite character, so there we go. Skyla Jade Foster. Sky. I was a bit angry at all these random people coming up and disliking your one unboxing. It's like, come on, this is his personal honest opinion about it. Like, I can understand not agreeing, but actually being against what someone thought about it? I agree. In the last episode I talked about my most hated video, my Loot Crate unboxing, where I was very negative because I wasn't very... A, I had a bad day, and B, the stuff in the box didn't reflect the theme. It was combat. Not what I really anticipated, and the franchises I wasn't a big fan of, and people absolutely hated on the video, and it didn't go viral, but it got like thousands and thousands of views, way more than my unboxings normally get. So it was kind of an interesting video. But yes, I agree. If you don't like it, just click the stop and move along button. Well, you don't have to dislike it and be an asshole. Anyway, B Bizano 1, awesome. You win, Captain. LOL. Swifton, love the Hallmark ornaments. I thought the Enterprise C for this year was badass. I put mine up today. Yeah, the Enterprise C is badass. We just released the Enterprise C or Ambassador class mission briefing, and it's doing really well. People are really enjoying it, and it's going to be a fan favorite, I think. It's one of my favorite ships now. I used to hate the ship, but I grew to love it, especially when I built a model of it. It really made me appreciate the design. So, love the ship now. Mark Bernero. I like the all-metal Hallmark NX-01, the Enterprise E, the Kelvin, Katinga, and Vulcan Dekara the best. I actually had to move my NX-01. It's down here now. It's very heavy, so it hangs funny up there. It has to be kind of, held up by branches. But I got another ornament that's coming. It's going to be going right in there. So stay tuned for that in the next Captain's Log. Carl Edwards. I sent you a friend invite in Star Trek Online a few days ago. Hope you accept, LOL. I will, Carl, when I get online next. I haven't been on Star Trek Online for a while now. And when I get on there, I don't even know where to look for my friend requests. People say they send me friend requests. I hop on. I expect to see so-and-so requested, blah, 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 blah. But nothing. And I don't know where to look for it. I'm not that well-versed in Star Trek Online, unfortunately. So if anybody can help me out in that regard, that'd be much appreciated to kind of point me in the direction of where my friend requests are, because I'm sure I have a few of them now that we have a fleet. Jack Peacock, thanks for replying to my comments, Stuart. Great Captain's Log, as always. Keep up the good work, and I hope Samuel can persuade you to do stuff on Stargate. Episode 2 of Fleet Yards is going to be a Stargate ship. I think I mentioned that last time. So, and the script's written. It just needs to be edited and put together and filmed and all that. So, episode 2 of Fleet Yards is going to be on a Stargate ship. That's all I'll say. On another note, I've always been a TNG fan, and that's more my era than the first Star Trek I watched, but the way you speak about TOS makes me want to go back and watch all those episodes again. Well, I'm glad. I mean, TOS is campy, it's cheap, it's a product of its time. It's the 60s. They didn't have much of a budget, so there's styrofoam rocks and whatever, and the planetscapes are god-awful most of the time, but it's what got the franchise started, and everything that came after because of that. So you need to appreciate it and watch it and love it. Plus, some of the themes and episodes are just amazing. So it's definitely worth a rewatch. We're going to be doing the top 10 favorite Star Trek series soon. And I think you're going to be interested in my choices. I mean, I am a TOS fanboy. As you can see, I got a ton of TOS stuff. TOS is my bread and butter. I love the aesthetic. I love everything about it, really. Especially if it was more realistic and envisioned properly, kind of like they did in A Mirror Darkly, where they could make it look a lot better. I think that would be amazing, and that's kind of my era. I like TNG, don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but yeah. But anyway, as I was saying, when we do our top 10, you might be surprised by my list, so stay tuned for that one. It hasn't even been filmed yet, so Samuel is even going to be surprised by my list, I think. Sydney Hughes, nice to see some NX love there. Awesome Christmas tree. Thank you. DJ Peterson, can I help somehow with the fan series? Probably, yes. But more to come on that when we start actually moving forward with that. We're kind of at a standstill right now, like I said. So, yeah, any help when there'll be an announcement and talk leading up to it. And don't worry, you'll know that something's going on. Talk to us then, and then we can probably find something for you to help with. That'd be awesome. Yes. Dontel's 1992. Just want to say, nice tree. I like it. Contest idea. I have a few. Maybe you can ask people to do some sort of fan-made story about Star Trek or design a new Star Trek contest. Maybe Star Trek Online screenshot contest, or maybe something simple like make 3 questions about Star Trek and let people answer in the comments, and then pick someone on random from people who answer correctly. Those are great ideas. I like the screen cap contest. That's a good idea. I'll consider that for sure. But the other one's good too. The thing is with asking questions, though, you got Google. You can find out anything, so everybody's going to have the correct answer. So it's just me randomly picking somebody, basically, which I can do without asking a question. I could do like an essay type question where it's an opinion-based thing, and people have to actually kind of, in a certain number of words or less, give their point of view, and I could pick the most. That's good, but I'm not a teacher. I don't want to read everything. I don't know. I'll consider those. I love the screenshot idea, though. That's a good idea. MJ Abram, thank you. I have a question. What do you think of the thought of a new Star Trek TV show? Do you think they can follow the timeline or not? Well, we discussed this in our Star Trek podcast about the new series. I would love to see something new and original. I don't really want to go back to TOS. I would love to see something post-Voyager era, maybe like a decade later, maybe more. Let's move it along. And let's try not to get in the JJ verse. Try to keep it in the prime timeline. I think they can definitely continue that. Now, that being said, the JJ verse might be interesting. As long as it's not the Enterprise, and it's not as long as they kind of fix their shoddy science that they have in the movies. I liken it to this. A lot of people hate the Star Wars prequels. Yet, Star Wars Clone Wars, which is set in the exact same time with the exact same characters, was really popular. Because it was a series, it was kind of done by different people, not necessarily all just George Lucas's vision. And it was pretty popular, pretty well done, and there's some great stories. The same thing could happen with a Star Trek series set in the JJ verse. I'll cringe when I hear JJ verse, but at the same time, I'm going to watch it, see if it works out, because it might be entertaining, it might be something worth watching, and people might enjoy it. So let's give it a chance. Let's see what we can do. I mean, chances are it's probably going to be in the JJ verse. That's just the way the way it works for the producers and things. But I'm hoping for the prime timeline, and I'm hoping for post-Voyager era. Peter Thiel. I have to agree with you about Deep Space Nine. I watched the first 6 episodes when it came out and then stopped. I really did not find it I really did not like it, finding it very slow and boring. Once Worf joined in Season 4, I gave it a second chance and loved it. Over time, I went back and rewatched the earlier episodes. Now Deep Space Nine is my favorite series. With regards to Star Trek Online, on the Mac, it suffers many issues. I should know I started playing Star Trek Online on a Mac. Due to many issues I had, crashing, freezing, running at double speed, which was quite funny looking back at it, I moved over to playing Star Trek Online on a Windows boot camp. It's worth noting that the Mac version is just the Windows version wrapped in a Windows emulator called Wine. Also, sometimes other programs on the Mac can mess up the Wine settings used to run Star Trek Online. I did not know that. That's interesting to know about the Mac, though. Thank you for sharing that. As for Deep Space Nine, yes, the first couple episodes are and then Season 1, Season 2, there's some really bad episodes. Same with all Star Trek, though. All seasons have their flops. And there's certain episodes that I would not show to somebody that's not a fan of Star Trek initially, because you got to get past those. You can't focus on those episodes. So there's certain episodes I would definitely not show a fan that's not somebody that's not a Star Trek fan. But yes, Deep Space Nine is an incredible drama-packed series, and it's definitely one of my favorites. You just have to get into it, and you got to wait till A, Worf comes on board, B, Sisko shaves his head and grows his goatee and becomes badass, and 3, after the Dominion War starts, because then it gets really good. Joseph Bryant, your idea of running into a ship at warp reminds me of the Stellar Cartography's description of the Tomed incident, the event that led to the Federation agreeing not to develop cloaking technology. My question to you is, do you know anything about the Romulan Kirchin class? It's one of my favorite Romulan ships, but I've only seen on desktop wallpapers. Do you know if it's from a game or a fan series? Is there an in-universe backstory? Keep up the good work. I can't wait for the next episode on the Romulan War. We haven't done an episode on the Romulan War. I don't know if you're talking about that or something else. But anyway, I don't know about this ship. I'd have to look it up and do some research. I don't know if it's a real thing or if it's just a fan-created design. So I'm sorry I can't answer your question. Carmelo Ailman, Mellotron. Who would win in a bare-knuckle fistfight, Captain Kirk or Captain Picard? Of course, both of them in their prime. Also, in a mud wrestling match between these first officers, who would win, T'Pol or Colonel Kira? Okay, well, in a bare-knuckle fistfight, Captain Kirk would win. I have to say it. Picard tends to get stabbed in the heart with knives and things. He's more of a talker. He's more of a, he's not so much a fighter. So Kirk would win that one, hands down. As for the mud wrestling, I absolutely hate Kira. There's something about her I never liked. I don't like Bajorans as a whole, and I specifically don't like her. But she's a very tough woman. She's trained to fight. But T'Pol is Vulcan, so she has superior strength. I'm not really a fan of T'Pol either, to be honest. It's not my cup of tea. Neither one of them is my cup of tea attractiveness-wise. I'd have to say T'Pol would win that one, hands down, although she'd wonder why the hell they were wrestling in mud. That's not logical, don't you know? Simon Cordell. Stuart, you may recall I was hypnotized by your LCAR's computer screensavers. Now I'm distracted and hypnotized by the Trekyards Christmas tree. And yet they're both in the same video. You're going to be like, you're going to have to rewatch this because you're not going to hear a word I say. Great collection of Hallmark Star Trek ships and figures. Hashtag jealous Simon. Galvers. Question. Christmas special tree full of ship question. Ugh. Surface to orbit and orbit to space defense systems in Star Trek. I always had a feeling that space in Star Trek is empty. You think Earth would be a hub of hundreds of even thousands of ships at any time. Massive multiple orbital installations, huge number of commercial and Starfleet ships in and out. Something like Coruscant, but it's empty. One dry dock here or there, single starbase, no civilian ships, just nothing. And where are the multiple layer defense systems? This is for Roddenberry's sake, the capital of the Federation, and every dirtbag can enter there and do whatever they want at any time. Traitors of cursed his name. Horace Lorical, Need 30 days of bloody space battle to break Terra orbit defense before they start the siege of the planet. How long Earth defenses stood against Breen attack? It's true. I mean, it's a big planet, so we just see parts of it. I mean, there's the Space Station 1, which is the space dock, which is huge and is probably armed to the teeth with like phaser 10s and all this. It depends on which universe you're taking your phasers from. Phaser 10s in like Star Trek or Starfleet Battles. I'm pretty sure Starfleet Battles phaser 10s are like the starbase mounted ones, the big ones. But anyway, unimportant. Anyway, that thing will be armed to the teeth. Yeah, we see a few dry docks and the office complex. Who knows? I mean, I'm sure there's one or two civilian stations around there. You got the moon colony. There's probably emplacements on the moon for defense. I would hope. Plus, the solar system's not that big a place when you have warp drive. So I know that Mars has the Utopia Planitia yards. So you got tons of bases and defense systems there. You got to get through all this stuff before you can get to Earth. Basically, you got to get through the solar system. So it doesn't have to all be focused around Earth, per se. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. There should be something a little more, but as we know, Gene Roddenberry is not about war, not about weapons, not about fighting. So initially, that wasn't his intention, right? I know you got to protect yourself out there when you got big baddies with big sticks coming after you, but I think it would be hard to get to Earth's defenses unless you're a Borg cube and they, you come into the solar system, you just pick off the little quantum missile drone things that Rick Sternbach created. Boop, 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 one shot each, But yeah. There are defense systems around in the whole solar system, so there's probably quite a few. I would put a lot in the asteroid field, or just on the edge of the asteroid field, or the asteroid belt, I guess. Anyway, I hope that kind of answers your question. Andrew Hopkins, looks a lot like my tree. Most of the same ship ornaments from Hallmark, except my bird of prey doesn't light up anymore. The Defiant is my favorite. And there's a few comments on that. I don't want to get into all those because there's like 40 comments on this Captain's Log, so I got to get through these. iGammer9999, 99.99. Hello and greetings from Montana. I am now a Patreon supporter. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. And I'm really looking forward to more Fleet Yards episodes. It's kind of the whole reason why I am supporting you guys. But even if you don't continue the series, you'll still have my support. Anyways, continue your amazing work and have a safe and happy holiday. I forgot to mention I'm a huge Stargate and Battlestar fan, so please get to them eventually. Thank you. Well, thank you for your support. Yeah, if we hit our certain goals, we'll be able to keep Fleet Yards going regularly. Unfortunately, we're not at that yet. We do have 2 more Fleet Yards lined up, ready to go as far as what we're going to do. Like I said, one of the scripts is written, and episode number 2 is Stargate. Episode number 3 might be something that you mentioned. Just saying. It's been planned, it hasn't been written, it hasn't been researched yet, but it's on the list. Captain Lokioa. Hey, I'm fine with the way you're saying it. Luckily, you're not going to decipher my real name, my real first name. Sorry this comment is long, but the end is worth the read. Oh, I'm not going to be able to read all this because it gets cut off. Hold on a second here. Okay, I just loaded it up on the computer so that I can read the whole comment. Okay, here we go. Wow, enviously in love with your Wrath of Khan ornament. I like Deep Space Nine so much that anytime I'd watch it, I'd start from Series 1, Episode 1. I like Voyager after Series 1. More like Season 3, the Borg series Whispers, because of Jerry Ryan, and also because of the final episode, Always Bring a Tear to My Eye, ha ha ha. For some reason, I love and miss watching Star Trek Enterprise, probably because it was the first Star Trek series that I saw on TV when a new episode would air. And I know, right? I've always been wishing that there would be a TV channel dedicated to airing playing of Star Trek episodes and movies. When the channel launches, start from TOS. When all of the TOS episodes have been aired, then I guess TAS, the animated series. The Motion Picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, Voyage Home, Final Frontier, blah, 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 Deep Space Nine, then Voyager. Using original air dates, play the appropriate episode for each series between each, then Voyager, or then TNG episode, then Deep Space Nine episode, then Voyager episode. Scheduling the appropriate Star Trek episodes and movies would be a huge pain in the brain, but it'd pay off in the end. Mon Capitan, if you made it this far about your question and answer video idea, I suggest creating another email dedicated to receiving your fan questions that if they listen and actually ask questions, though most are hard of hearing, the mail you'd get from the new email would just end up like your current email, but at least you'll be more condensed for receiving questions for your and Sam's Q&A videos. Yes, so I asked for a place where we could, you guys could send questions for both Samuel and myself, so we could do a Captain and Commander question and answer segment together. So thank you. As for the TV station, that'd be awesome. It'd be cool if it was like an on-demand thing where you could watch whatever. But I don't think playing TOS back-to-back, all the episodes in a row, is a good idea. Like playing them chronologically like that. I think you should do 1 hour TOS, or maybe the morning TOS, like 2-3 hours, then go TNG, then do a movie in the afternoon, and rotate, just keep rotating that way. Have Deep Space Nine and Voyager, a couple episodes in the evening each, and then the animated series in the mornings or something. Kind of, I don't know. There'd be a way to do it, but I think it'd probably be an on-demand service. But yeah, there's so many different possibilities for that. Oh, we're almost at the end. Cool. Daniel McCool. That's a load off my mind, Captain. Thank you. I just got promoted to lieutenant. I would like to live to see me become a lieutenant commander. He goes on to say, I can send you a copy of my 1/200 scale Connie refit made out of paper if you would like. That would be awesome. Please don't kill your crew. Please, like I said, I don't want to die knowing my captain may or may not be in his right mind because he's seen some shit. Did I miss something? Am I planning on killing my crew? Are you talking about when I'm going to warp into the other ship? I would assume that my crew would be already off the ship by that point. I don't know what you're talking about. Please make sure you clarify what you're talking about to me, please. Okay, so last one. T-Money HD. Stuart, what do you think the plot will be for the next JJ movie? Oh, God. Star Trek Beyond. Apparently the script is more original series episode-esque. So it's got more of that feel to it. They are out exploring now, away from Earth. They're actually on their 5-year mission. But freaking time. So I don't know. I know there's going to be a bad guy, which there always is. We can't have... That's why Star Trek isn't really designed, I think, for movies. It's more designed as a television series because you can explore a lot more content, a lot more subject matter on a weekly basis than you can in a movie, because a movie has to be big, exciting, action-packed, bad guy, we got to win at the end. So it's very structured. Start with exploration. Oh, there's a bad guy. Oh, he's doing bad things. Now he's attacking us. Now he's going to kill us. Now we got to defeat him. Now we defeated him, and now let's go back to exploring. That's the whole plot of the movie. And it doesn't really work for Star Trek. That's not what Star Trek's about. So, I don't know what the plot of the new movie is going to be. I just hope against hope that it's good. I mean, I'll watch it regardless. So, I just hope that it's not a... I've got to be careful what I say here because I do have some inside information about the movie that I don't want to reveal because I'm not allowed to, but I just hope it doesn't follow the mold that we've seen so far, where Star Trek 2 was about Wrath of Khan. Star Trek 3, what's going to happen? Is the Enterprise going to get destroyed a la Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock? Like, don't do that. I mean, seriously. That would be a bad thing. And then he says, keep up the good work. So, cool. That is it for those comments. Thank you guys very much for interacting with me. This video is not going to be super long. I don't have a lot to talk about besides what we've already done. I do want to mention one thing, however. And what I want to talk about is the ship that was designed for me called the USS Stuart Foley class. The Stuart Foley class by Cal Schnatz, doing the new technical manual. I think that's amazing. It's a real honor to have that done. I love dreadnoughts, and I love the fact that I have a class named after myself now. Although I told him the Stuart Foley class sounds kind of odd, so let's go with the Foley class and just have the story behind it, being that it's about Captain Stuart Foley. Who knows? There's got to be a story in there somewhere. How I got a ship class named after me. But it's a cool ship. If you haven't seen it, check it on the Facebook, the Trekyards Facebook page. It's got a fly-through deck for shuttles and fighters, which is really neat. Engines mounted below that, and then another engine mounted above on the secondary hull with the standard Connie saucer. So it's an awesome-looking ship. I never liked the saucer on the original Dreadnoughts. Still a fan of them, but I'm not a huge fan of the saucer. So, anyway, so what I'm honored to have that be included in the new technical manual. That's amazing and awesome. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's a fun ship, and I'm honored to have it made. But we want to down the road. We want to do a Trekyards episode on it, and I'm looking for somebody out there that has 3D modeling skills that wants to model the ship for us in 3D, so that we can do an episode on it. We do have a few other 3D modelers at our disposal. However, they're all busy at the moment doing other things, other projects. So I'm just wondering if anybody out there can help out in that regard. It's a pretty simple TOS style ship, so I don't think it'd be too hard. I don't know how the 3D modeling works as far as complexity goes. I don't know. So I'm asking for that. I just kind of want that ship in our arsenal. I think that'd be amazing. Plus, I could incorporate it into my Captain's Log openings instead of the regular Dreadnought. So, interesting little side note there. Other than that, I don't really have much else to talk about. A few things going on in the background as far as Trekyards goes, and as well as far as my model building and stuff goes. So, and I had the opportunity to watch one of my older videos, pre-Trekyards, one of my model building videos, and I gotta admit, I kind of miss my old channel, my old formula. So I might get back to that as far as, building models and showing off some of my collection and stuff. I've kind of stepped away from that, and now that Trekyards is around, I have this Captain Foley persona where I have to, address your questions, and I have to prepare scripts for Trekyards, and I have to promote Trekyards, and it's become this Trekyards juggernaut on this channel. And initially, when we started Trekyards, Samuel and I mentioned maybe we should start a new channel for just Trekyards episodes, but it was decided that no, we would just increase my viewership by leaving it on the channel, which is fine. I mean, the only problem is you guys might get the odd or two personal videos from me, just documenting my home life kind of thing, which you might not be interested in, but just hit skip and click over it. You don't have to watch it. So, but anyway, yeah, go back and check out some of my older videos. I got some great stuff. The beginning of this channel was kind of humble and very tentative because I didn't know anything about anything. I just thought I'd like to do a channel, and I love the fact that I have people out there that listen to me and enjoy listening to me and sit down and actually take the time out of their day to listen to me yammer on and feel like they want to ask me questions and things like that. I think it's amazing. So that's basically it, guys. Until probably next week, I'm probably going to do another Captain's Log. I'm probably going to get quite a few comments on this one, hopefully. Questions, things like that. Didn't get anything from my first officer in this one, Samuel. When you watch these, as you're watching them, you should think of a question and comment on it so that I don't have to hound you about having a question for me in the comments. But I think that's it. I will give you a quick look at some of the new items on my tree before I leave, so don't go anywhere. I'll just show the one or two that I added, and like I said, there's one coming that I kind of wanted to wait for, but at the same time I don't want to wait. I want to show you guys, so I'm excited. So, alright guys, I will just show you that stuff right now, and then I think that'll be the end of the video. Okay? Okay, so as you can see, I did move the NX-01. It used to be up here in that empty spot. And the Wrath of Khan thing used to be down there, but I think it hangs better there. It looks better. But I got another R2-D2 The Force Awakens ornament the other day. I shifted the Defiant up a little bit because to make room there for the one that's coming. I'll show you these guys again, because you might not have seen my last Captain's Log. And of course they all do light up, but I'm not going to light them up right now. I also forgot that I had my Megatron ornament in the background behind me, and I decided to hang it up. And when I got R2-D2, I also got the new C-3PO with the red arm from The Force Awakens. So that's the update to the Captain Foley Christmas tree, or the Trekyards tree, if you will. Okay guys, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in, and check back because I want to do any contest updates, assuming that I decide to do a contest. Still haven't got a lot of positive feedback for that. I've had 1 or 2 suggestions, and that's it. I do like the screenshot idea, though. That's amazing. So stay tuned for that. There will be something probably mentioned in the next Captain's Log or the one after, but that's still not 100% a go. So anyway, I will see you guys very soon. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will look forward to seeing you guys in the next Trekyards episode, or you can see me at least. I can't see you, but at least you can. I know you're there when we film them. So, and I will talk to you all very soon. Thanks again. Captain Foley signing off. Bye.